Welcome to class at Hinson Creek School of Country Living. And this morning we are going to learn about propagating sweet potatoes. We have a purple sweet potato here. This variety is called Bulldog, and we raised quite a few of them last. Planted them at the end of May. And we harvested them. Now there's a couple methods for propagating sweet potatoes. The small sweet potatoes plants are called slips. So you have your root, this is the bottom of your sweet potato, this is your top. And you want to put your root side down into the water. Use some toothpicks here. Oops, lost one. We're going to put the toothpicks in to support our sweet potato. And it looks like we only have to have two. Now you can set these in a window. You want to pick a window in your home that gets more sun. So we have the purple sweet potato here. It's a little challenging to determine which is the top side, which is the bottom side. But looking closely here, we can tell that this is the root end and this is the top end. And okay, we have this sweet potato suspended. We'll put them in a sunny window, and then let's turn our attention to these regular potatoes here. You can see the sprouts coming out, and you see a smaller one here. It's best to use your bigger potatoes for seed as opposed to your smaller ones. So when it comes to sweet potatoes, if you use a small sweet potato and you grow your slips out of it, you can still get huge sweet potatoes. But these Irish potatoes are different. So if you just use really small Irish potatoes for seed, then somehow with your genetics, you'll tend to have smaller and smaller potatoes. So it's kind of an opposite between your sweet potato and your regular potato. So with regular potatoes, you want to cut it so that there's at least two eyes for each piece. So there's an eye there, an eye there, so I can put it there, and then there's an eye there, an eye there, so I'll put it there, and then so I have two eyes or more on each piece. And then you can plant them like right away after you cut them, but it's ideal to let them stay in a warm, dry place for about 24 hours where they can dry and kind of seal off. And then after that, plant them.
Or dip them in ashes?
If you don't want to wait for them to dry out, if you have some ashes from your wood stove, you can dip the cut pieces in ash, and then it's really a good idea to save your ashes from your wood stove. They have some potassium, phosphorus, and so that's definitely something that will help the potatoes. I like to put like maybe a cup or a half cup of ashes per plant, somewhere in that neighborhood. Later this season, this is a good time to plant potatoes. It's just too wet right now, so Lord willing, we'll do a video teaching on how we plant potatoes. Any other questions, thoughts?
So how long does it take for these sweet potato slips to be ready to plant?
Good question. So here, where in our zone, it's not really considered safe to plant sweet potatoes until after May 10. So, and like end of May, between the middle of May and end of May would be the ideal time to plant sweet potatoes in our area here in roughly central Kentucky. So about a month. So from the time that you know is a safe time to plant them, when you're planning to plant your sweet potatoes, if you go about a month prior, you should give yourself enough time to grow the slips. So later they'll sprout out and we'll see them growing, and we'll show you that. We'll try to show you that step as well as time goes on, give you a progression as to what is happening with our happy sweet potatoes. So this is not the only way to propagate these. If you have a greenhouse, you can put like potting soil in a tray, and you can lay the sweet potatoes down and then kind of leave like half exposed and half buried. So when they're laying down, they'll sprout up from there. And so for those of you that may not have the opportunity to watch the later videos of this, I'll just kind of tell you now what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we'll see sprouts coming out from the top here. And once the sprouts are about around 6 inches tall, then we can cut those sprouts off and we'll put them in water. And then they just put roots out into the water, and once there's plenty of hairy roots, then you can take them out of the water and you can plant them in your garden. But hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be able to do some kind of update videos on this so you can see the progression. I would like to thank my Heavenly Father for sweet potatoes, and I would like to thank my beautiful videographer, who is now my wife, for all the hard work to edit these. And I hope that you're inspired to plant sweet potatoes. They're one of the most nutritious things that you can eat. And they're in the morning glory family, and if you've ever had morning glories just growing wild in your garden, morning glories are such a vigorous weed. And sweet potatoes really grow like that. You plant them, then they will grow like a weed. Like we didn't water ours except for just when we planted them, and they just produce bountifully through our Father's blessing. So it looks like class is coming to an end because the rain is here. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time.